My name is Craig Smith. I'm going to be reciting a speech that Ronald Reagan gave March 8th of 1983. This speech was known as the Evil Empire speech, which was basically him talking about the evil in the world being related to communism and the Soviet Union at the time. During this time, the U.S. government was looking at possibly stopping the nuclear missile systems from going to Europe. And this was Ronald Reagan's, I guess, stance on why he was for the missile systems. And I'm going to go ahead and start. It's not quite the beginning of the speech, but it starts where a kind of a joke starts. So it says, "Now, I don't know why this reminds me, but that bit of a scheduling reminds me of a story, which I'll share with you now. An evangelical minister and a politician arrived at Heaven's Gate one day together, and St. Peter, after doing the necessary formalities, took them in hand and showed them where their quarters would be. And he took them to a small, single room with a bed, a chair, and a table, and said this was for the clergyman. And the politician, he was a little worried what might be in store for him. And he couldn't believe it when St. Peter stopped in front of a beautiful mansion with lovely grounds, many servants, and he told him that these would be his quarters. And he couldn't help but ask, but why? How? There's something wrong. How do I get this mansion while that good holy man only gets the single room? And St. Peter said, you have to understand how things work up here. We've got thousands and thousands of clergy. You're the first politician who's ever made it in. But I don't want to contribute to a stereotype. So, I'll tell you, there are a great many God-fearing, dedicated, noble men and women in public life, present company included. And yes, we need your help to keep us ever mindful of the ideas and the principles that brought us into the public arena in the first place. The basis of these ideals and principles is a commitment to freedom and personal liberty that itself is grounded in much deeper realization that freedom prospers only where the blessings of God and avidly sought and humbly accepted. The American experiment in democracy rests on this insight. Its discovery was a great triumph of our founding fathers, voiced by William Penn when he said, if we will not be governed by God, we must be governed by tyrants. Explaining the inalienable rights of men, Jefferson said, the God who gave us life gave us liberty at the same time. And it was George Washington who said that of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports. And finally, that shrewdest of all observers of American democracy, Alex de Tocqueville, put it eloquently after he had gone on search for a secret of America's greatness and genius. And he said, not until I went into the churches of America and heard the pulpits aflame with righteousness did I understand the greatness and the genius of America. America is good. And if America ever ceases to be good, America will cease to be great. Well, I'm pleased to be here today with you who are keeping America great by keeping her good. Only through your work and prayers and those millions of others can we hope to survive this perilous century and keep alive this experiment in liberty, this last best hope of man? I want you to know that this administration is motivated by the political philosophy that sees the greatness of America in you, her people, and in her families, churches, neighborhoods, and communities, the institutions that foster and nourish values like concern for others and respect for the rules of law under God. Well, that's the end of the part of the speech. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.